All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all having a good morning so far. This was a request I had a while back. I am so sorry for it taking so long. It kind of got lost in the abyss. But here we are. This one's called The Winner's Way, Why All Rings Aren't Created Equal. And this is by our buddy Scap Attack, the Godfather himself. Or not the Godfather, but I'd kind of call him the GOAT. Him and AOH. And who's the Godfather? BTM. BTM's the Godfather. All right, but anyways, we're going to check this video out. It's All Rings Aren't Created Equal. So this should be really cool. I think this dropped right before the NBA Finals. So I don't think it has to do with that, but we'll see what this is all about. As usual, I'm going to stick the original Scap video down below in the description if you want to watch it without me. Everybody else, please leave this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. It always helps out. It helps this channel grow. And you're the reason, all of y'all, you're the reason why this channel has been blowing up lately. So thank you very much. All right, let's do this.
Well, you can add Raiders All-Pro defensive end Max Crosby to the countless list of professional athletes who think LeBron James is a cowardly ring-chasing mercenary. I know, crazy, right? It isn't just 9 out of every 10 NBA players who pick Kobe and Jordan over the fraud king.
Straight up.
Athletes in other sports know what the scoreboard reads.
I wonder what they think overseas. Like, I wonder what, like, soccer players or tennis players, whatever other sports are at. Now we can actually say basketball. Whatever sports are prominent overseas. I wonder what they think about all this.
The stud defensive end was a guest on the Jim Rome show recently when the topic came up of Crosby's contract extension with Las Vegas. And Rome asked the All-Pro if he had ever considered the possibility of leaving the Raiders for greener pastures. But that's when Crosby went on to explain that taking the easy way out was never a consideration, and LeBron caught a hilarious stray.
Okay, I don't know enough about football. I know we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, but I'm not too familiar with this guy. But props. Now I hope you get a ring, because you're going to stick around and do it the real way.
The guys who inspired me are the Kobes and the Jordans, the guys that stayed at the same place and won in the same place. So no offense to the guys like LeBron and those dudes that, took the easier road travel. And that's really not the way I look at it. I feel like for me, going through it and going through the ups and downs and the hardships is going to make it even that much, sweeter when I do win a Super Bowl. So.
And of course,
wow, he just straight up name dropped LeBron and no one else. He's like LeBron and other guys like that. That's your reputation, LeBron. This is what you created, man. And then Kobe falls right in line with Jordan because he says Jordan and Kobe and those guys, which we all know. Throw Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. So far, Giannis on there, all these kind of guys.
Let this serve as yet another of the countless reminders that there are indeed levels to this. In a tale as old as time, literally, this isn't merely about something that is applicable to sports. This is the concept of the hero's journey. And in that quest, you are only as good as the challenges you face and the obstacles you overcome. The villains, the foes you vanquish. By sidestepping all of these challenges and making that quest as easy as possible, you fundamentally cheat not just yourself, but by extension, as it applies to professional athletics, the sport itself.
Yeah. You guys remember rivalries? How they existed from the beginning of basketball until just about 10 years ago? I miss them. But rivalries don't exist if there's a Goliath and a David, and then David just like ditches and goes out and, finds a new army to help him accomplish his goals. And then together they take on Goliath. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. I always go back to Jordan and the Pistons and how that was. And let's be fair, the Pistons and the Celtics, the Pistons had to get through the Celtics in order to take that the top of the mountain. And then the Bulls took it away from them. That's what was so cool. These rivalries made sports. But what did, the topic's on LeBron because of Scap here. So what did LeBron do? He went to Miami. There was a rivalry between the Celtics and the Cavs. And then that rivalry died in one season, one off season. It died because LeBron just ditched. So that no longer existed. I see it a lot today, and it's been pretty disturbing that I can't point out one rivalry. The closest thing to it is like Denver and LA, because Denver like completely owns LA right now. Is there another rivalry? I might be missing something obvious, but point it out in the comments if you can think about it. The idea that I have to think about it so hard is sad. We had the Knicks and the Bulls back in the day. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but they were all over the place.
Now,
The Celtics and the Lakers.
LeBron wasn't the first to apply this tactic of sheer cowardice, as ring chasing is nothing new in sports, particularly the NBA. But you will be hard-pressed to locate a player who gave up so quickly and at such a young age and stage of their career as LeBron.
That's the problem, by the way. Scap nails it right on the head. That's the problem. He did it so young. He didn't do it in the later parts of his career. He did it when he was still really young.
Abandoned the noble pursuit of a title. And it wasn't just one destination. This ring-hunting coward mercenary has been changing locales every 4 to 5 years since he was 26 years old.
Yep.
And James is seldom ever satisfied with the immense amount of talent he stacks around him in those various cities, instead opting to whine, cry, and beg for more help year in and year out. And this is why the prolific winners who stayed in one NBA location for their entire careers should be viewed at a different and higher level than the ring chasers.
I do. And I try to explain this to younger people, and they don't agree. They think that the traveling circus is more impressive. And I don't. I think winning it for the team that drafts you, doing it the hard way, building a team around you, that's real leadership. Floating around from team to team, that doesn't show leadership. That shows lack of accountability, and the second that things get tough, you're going to run. Not the same thing.
If you want to celebrate LeBron's individual statistical accomplishments, if that is your be-all and end-all, so be it.
Yeah, he stacked stats.
In the course of any sport, do we celebrate stats over winning. The winners have and should be viewed in a different light, held to a higher level, in a different tier of the conversation. Because they didn't run. They didn't take the easy way out. Crosby specifically mentions Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Jordan, who entered the NBA in an absolutely stacked Eastern Conference, one that contained the dynastic, legendary Boston Celtics, who typically deployed anywhere from 4 to 5 Hall of Famers in any given season during the 80s, the bad boy Detroit Pistons, the Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, and Dr. J 76ers, and the Dominique Wilkins Atlanta Hawks. Jordan, meanwhile, was surrounded by literal trash, as it wasn't until his 6th NBA season when he played with his first All-Star teammate.
Let me tell you, I'm rewatching The Last Dance for the first time in quite a while, and I am just remembering two things. That team was absolute trash in the 80s. That Bulls team, terrible, terrible team. 2, my God, was MJ a freaking nature in the 80s. Dude was crazy. We'll never see another player like that, man.
Kobe, meanwhile, substantially luckier than Mike in the supporting cast department when he came into the league. But when Kobe was just 26 years old and in the peak of his prime, Shaq was traded to Miami, and the Lakers ultimately ended up taking a package back in return that would end up constituting one of the most laughable and embarrassing trades in NBA history. The Heat sent back Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant.
It's a complete
Crap. And aside from Bryant, the core players on that roster, those to log at least 15 minutes per game for LA, included Lamar Odom, Smush Parker,
Smush,
Kwame Brown, Chris Mim, Devin George, Luke Walton.
Hey, Devin George was all right. Lamar Odom was all right.
Brian Cook, and Sasha Vujacic.
Sasha was, he was a shooter. Yeah, I know. It's not a good team.
These top 8 rotational players, aside from Bryant, combined to make exactly 0 total All-Star appearances and All-NBA selections ever for their entire careers. Meanwhile, that Western Conference at the time, historically stacked, with the Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Sean Marion Suns.
I'll be fair. The fact that Kobe basically alone gave the MVP Nash Suns a run for their money. What was that, 2005, 2006? It's blurry for me. He gave us a run for our money in the playoffs. He had no business doing it, but the guy was sick, man. Kobe was so sick at that point. It reminds me of, young Jordan versus the Celtics, where there's no business for the Bulls to be competing against the Celtics, but one man is willing their way to make this a competition.
Fantastic San Antonio Spurs team with 3 Hall of Famers, the typical 60-some win Dallas Mavericks led by Dirk Nowitzki, and other tough teams like the Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady Rockets, and the Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson Nuggets. Kobe, though, would stay put and get, at the time, a one-time All-Star and absolutely run that conference for 3 years with not a single other top 75 all-time player.
Yep.
These titles hit harder. They mean more. And don't tell me it's not the same league today.
Absolutely. I'm going to back up Scap on this one. Those 2 rings with Pau Gasol for the Lakers, that's more impressive alone for Kobe Bryant than Kobe Bryant's previous 3 championships combined. These 2, man, was that the hard way. The first 3, they had the advantage over everyone in the league. That team was stacked. From coaching all the way down, that team was stacked. But these last 2, shoot, man, that was mission impossible to accomplish what he did. I'll go out and say it, and I'll say it confidently. Those 2 championships, more impressive than LeBron's 4. Any day of the week.
Today's greats can't be held to those same standards. The 3 best players on the planet today, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Luka Doncic, all 3 of them have been surrounded by subpar talent for the vast majority of their careers. Yet none of them have run, and all of them, at the end of the day, depending on if they stay put and if they deliver multiple titles, should also be held above those ring-chasing cowards that slithered around the post-2010 NBA.
Yeah, so far, Luka's the only one not on that list, but what Giannis accomplished in Milwaukee against my Suns again, man. Why are my Suns the butt end of everybody else's awesome story? Jordan, for instance, Michael Jordan's probably his best finals performance ever against my damn Suns. Anyways, what Giannis accomplished, he's already on that list. He accomplished something amazing. Jokic, same thing. Fantastic. Did it the hard way. Did it the right way. Luka, well, made it to the finals, but not quite. It went to 5 games. Not quite that impressive. But he is trying to do it the right way. So if he does win a championship in Dallas, that's something to celebrate in my mind. That's Dirk winning a championship in Dallas. You did it the hard way. We need to celebrate this kind of stuff.
Because no matter how some might like to try to change the standards or move the goalposts, winners will always be held above losers. And the difficulty of the journey our heroes take should always be factored in.
Good stuff. Good video. Good suggestion. I agree with Scap 1000% on his take. I've been trying to get it across for a long time that not all championships are created equal. And look, yeah, that's basically the name of the title, the name of the video, Why All Rings Aren't Created Equal. It's so true. They're not. You stack the deck and you win a ring? And I know I'm a Kobe fan. Y'all know I got Kobe as number 2. Huge Kobe fan. However, those first 3 championships with Shaq, they were expected to win. The deck was kind of stacked. But it wasn't stacked in a way where it was intentional. It was stacked the natural way from a GM. They got Kobe out of the draft. They traded for Shaq, and they built. It wasn't an immediate success. It took them a couple of years to win, but to where it got to around like 2002-ish, like that monster was so big that there was nobody who could beat them. And that's why when the Detroit Pistons did beat them, it blew my freaking mind. Blew my mind. But yeah, I don't think like something like the Miami Heat Big 3, those 2 championships can even compete with, say, Giannis's 1 championship in Milwaukee. I don't know, you guys. Am I crazy? Is Scap crazy? Tell me what you think in the comments, because I've felt this way always. I've always felt this way. All the way back in the 90s when like Barkley, Pippen, and Olajuwon were all teamed up on, on the Rockets. I was kind of rolling my eyes going like, well, even if they do win, like who really cares? They're kind of, they're stacking the deck over there. Yeah, that's my take. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with a special one tonight. Be sure to check it out. Stick that, hit that reminder bell or whatever you got to do. I got a real cool one coming tonight. One of my favorite topics to cover. And I found something really cool. So I'll see you all tonight. Before that, I'll see you all in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell if you wanna be notified of the video tonight. I'll see you all later. Peace out.